Today I'm going to show you everything you need to know to have fun and keep yourself safe while bouldering.
Climbing can be a dangerous sport, especially if you don't pay attention to your surroundings.
So when walking around the mats, pay attention to what's around you. If there's someone climbing up here, take a wide berth around them and make sure if you're going to start climbing, don't start climbing when someone is right underneath you. Otherwise, this might happen.
The way a climb's difficulty is determined is by its grade, and there are many different types of grades. In most UK gyms, you'll find it's the V grade system. This goes from V0 onwards, with the higher the number, the harder the climb. So if it's your first time, you're gonna want to start at the easiest.
And some gyms might even use a completely different grading system. If you're unsure, make sure to ask a staff member at the wall. There aren't many written rules you have to play by when it comes to climbing, but there are rules on how to start and end a climb. To start a climb, you need to have one hand on each of the start holds. If there's only one start hold, then both hands go on it.
Before you move off to the next hold, however, you must make sure your whole body is off the ground with both hands on the starting holds.
Finishing a climb is much simpler. Once you've reached the top, touch the last hold with both hands in a controlled manner, and then it's time to get down, which is often the scariest thing for new climbers. So it's recommended that you climb down as much as possible before dropping off. Speaking of dropping off, let's learn to fall. You're inevitably going to fall while climbing, so here's how to make your descent back to earth as safe as possible.
Don't try and catch yourself on the wall. Accept that you're falling, so that when you hit the ground, you're ready with slightly bent knees to absorb the impact. If you're falling from a long way up, the impact will be harder, so let yourself roll onto your back or on your side after landing on the ground.
Now let's learn some techniques that'll make your life easier on the wall. Climbing like this is really tough on your arms, so straighten them up. Let your feet do the work. Move your feet up and stand. Speaking of feet, here's how you place them on a hold properly to be as balanced and secure as possible.
Every beginner tries putting their feet on the holds like this, when instead you should be putting your toes and the ball of your foot on the hold. This gives you better grip and more balance. Once you've got the hang of having straight arms and using your feet properly, it's time to sync them together to do some more dynamic movements.
Sometimes a hold is just that bit far out of reach, so this is where we should use momentum by swinging and pushing to make the hold just that bit easier to get.
Sometimes you might feel like you don't know where to go next when you're on the wall, and staying up there trying to figure it out takes a lot of energy. So just before getting on the wall, take a look at where the holds are. Do they go left? Do they go right? Where are you going to be putting your hands and feet? The more you know what to do before getting on the climb, the easier time you'll have when it comes to giving it your first go. Yeah, that's right, don't give up. If you're failing a climb once, twice, 5 times, 10 times, it doesn't matter, as long as each time you try to figure out why you fell and what went wrong. You'll be able to get to the top in no time.
Now let's talk about some equipment that you're going to need when you go climbing. The first thing you're going to need is a pair of climbing shoes. And now there are so many different types of climbing shoes, but not all of them are going to be great for a beginner. First off, climbing shoes are expensive. So what I would recommend doing is hiring them out at the climbing wall until you're ready to invest in a pair for yourself. If you're looking for a pair of climbing shoes for yourself, there's so many YouTube videos out there to help you out. Now you might have seen this white substance that we put on our hands before we get on a climb. This is chalk. You might have used this to draw on your parents' driveway when you're a kid, or if you're really old, used it on a blackboard at school. We don't use it for any drawing or writing, however. We use it to make sure that our hands stay nice and grippy. When chalking up, please apply chalk inside your chalk bag or the bag that the chalk came with. There's nothing worse than someone spilling chalk absolutely everywhere.
I've just committed a crime.
That should be everything you need to know to have fun on the wall. Thank you all for watching, and make sure to subscribe to the channel for more climbing tips. And have fun bouldering.